I'm so excited. I'm coming to you live today with one of my amazing clients, Rondelle, who is going to introduce herself very shortly. But this is an amazing client interview. And Rondelle is coming off the back of some amazing successes that we're going to kind of explode and explore into right now around all of the things that she's been doing in her business since she has been in the Conscious Creation Business Accelerator. So welcome, Rondelle. How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited to talk to you today. It has been an amazing weekend for you. So would you tell everyone who you are, what it is that you do?
Yep. So I'm an artist and product designer. I've got my own label called Rondelle Designs. I also run a co-working space on the Mornington Peninsula in Rosebud called Rita and Frank Creative Studios. So we do rent out spaces there and also run workshops. And that's where I've just held my first exhibition as well. So the two main businesses, but mostly I'm focusing on my art and handmade products at the moment.
So I've known you for quite a long time. Like, we've been in the sphere of each other's worlds for a while.
Yeah.
And you've been in the accelerator now for just over 10 weeks, which has flown by. It's flown by. But then saying that, at the same time, I was just telling you when we were just offline having a chat, how I had been trying to put my son to bed on Friday night, and we've been going to bed a little bit later because we've been in lockdown in Queensland. I know you've been in lockdown too. And I was hiding with my headphones in, watching your live first art exhibition, and in the end I gave up and I just sat up in bed with him, and we both had one headphone in and we were watching it together, and he was
love that.
That's so great. Excited about watching your art. But this was something that, given that you are an artist, you had never focused solely on creating your own exhibition. It had been in, the land of the vision and the dreams and things like that. And now you've pulled your first one off.
Yeah, so over the years, I've put my art into group art shows a little bit here and there, but I've never done an exhibition, like a solo exhibition, and it's something I've always wanted to do. And probably the past 3 or 4 years, I think I've had my business for 7 years now, coming up to 8. But the handmade products have all sort of took the limelight because they were the ones that were the easy sort of money makers. So my girls, I've got 3 kids, they were quite young when I started, so I kind of had to focus on what was bringing in the money. But the last few years, I've really lost that ability and time to focus on my art, my original art. So that was on my goal from last year when we first went into lockdown, and I had all this time to paint again. I was like, oh, that's right, I love this. So from then it was sort of a goal to really refocus on my original art, not just for myself, but also for my business, because you can make a good business out of selling your artwork. There's lots of people out there doing it. It was just something that I'd kind of had on my goals list, but really didn't do anything about because I was caught up in the busyness of my day-to-day business stuff until I got onto your group.
I know, but now, like, there was a whole list of things that I know that you've done whilst you've been in the accelerator, but that was the big one because that was the one that I remember in our first clarity call. You said, like, kind of when we were nearing the end of it, and I said, and what other goals and things do you have? You were like, oh, one day I'd love to do my own art expo. I was like, tell me more. And now, 10 weeks later, it's actually happened, and you can say that you have done your first one. And this is now a part of your natural business structure, progression, dream going forwards.
So I think on the clarity call, you made me literally book a date in, and I wanted to hide under my doona because it's so scary, because there's a lot of, I guess, with every business type, there's a lot of insecurities and the imposter syndrome, but I feel especially in the art, because your artwork is really a part of your expression. So to put it out there for people to judge and comment, it is scary. So I was like, oh my gosh, what? We're going to book a date in? So we booked a date in on that first clarity call. It was crazy. And now it's done.
Stuck to it. I did. Like, oh my goodness. So I know. But every single week we touched base on where you were at, what else you needed to do, how you were going to get there. And, this is what amazes me. That wasn't the only focus that you had. You were still running so many different little projects along the way that have been your baseline in business. So this was something that we didn't just say, let's scrap everything that you're already doing.
No.
We went, let's carry on with everything that's actually happening, and let's find a way to actually bring this in as an addition to grow the business in a way that feels like it's your time now.
Yeah, exactly. And I think honestly, it wouldn't have happened if I wasn't in the accelerator, because I would have kept putting it up. And even last week and the week before, but especially last week in our Wednesday group Zoom meeting, I was just like, I needed it, because I was really like, oh gosh, I can't do this. I don't know what I'm doing. And then it was like, all right, come on, let's do this. And start promoting it more and do this and do that. So definitely it was good it's good to have that hand holding to get stuff done if you're really scared to do it.
And life happened. Okay, so originally when we planned that date, there was no lockdown. There was no quarantining. There was no Delta strain. We had this big experience that we were going to create. And you still went ahead and you pivoted it and you made it a virtual event.
Which I think we decided that in one of our weekly Zooms too. I had to make the decision, this was before I knew Melbourne was going back into that snap lockdown, whether I stick with the trying to do it in person with only, I think there was only going to be 10 people allowed in the space at a time, so I could have done half an hour blocks, but that's just too hard. So I decided the week before last week to do a virtual, and then obviously we went into lockdown, so it had to happen. And it was really scary, because although I've gone live on Facebook before, never for an actual event, so it was really scary. You gave me the talking to I needed on Wednesday to make sure it was professional, and not just because I was like, oh, we'll just get through this first one and then I'll really make an effort on the next one. You're like, no, needs to be professional.
This is the first one, the only ever first one you're going to get, and you nailed it.
So and it turned out really well. I had my kids help me film it and make sure I was on time, because I had pre-scheduled each painting to upload into the group at a certain time, 2 minutes apart. So my 14-year-old was sort of showing me 2 minutes too fast, slow down, and my 15-year-old was filming. So because I was just going to film it myself, I was literally going to get my phone and be like this, and Alison was like, no, that's not professional, because I'm always like, it's okay, I can just do everything myself. I can do it myself. So it's good to have that person in your ear going, no, actually, you don't need to do it by yourself. You need to get someone to help you. So it was a very good experience.
It was so good. And Liam, I just showed you the picture of him painting on the weekend because you inspired him so much. He was 5 and he was like, oh, look at this. And that was just like,
that's
everything.
Great.
So good.
I love that.
But, success-wise, you had a whole theme, you had a structure, you sold 10 paintings.
Yes. Yeah. 10 out of 23, which is great, actually, because I haven't done an exhibition before. I didn't have any expectation that I'd be selling out or anything like that. And I really haven't, warmed my crowd up as much as I really would have. But even that, I think I only had 25 people in the actual live. So to sell 10 paintings, I think is a very good effort. My goal was to sell 5 at least. So I'm very happy with that.
It was incredible. And the fact is we've still got some of that beautiful artwork now to put up on your website as well.
Which was the other thing I spoke to you about in the clarity call was like, I want to sell my original art, but I've got no art. I've got 3 paintings that I made 3 years ago in my original art category on my website. And now if you look at it, the original art's full. It's got 4 pages of beautiful creations. So
yes, beautiful creations. So congratulations for all of that success, but what were some of the other successes that you've had in the accelerator?
Some of the other things was getting my website for my co-working space properly set up and finished, because that was just something I was putting on the back burner. Putting my prices up slightly also, which my accountant had been telling me I needed to do, but I kind of got serious about it. And I filled some spaces since I've got a good quality website. People actually go onto it and look at the spaces available.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things. Another thing, what would be another thing? I'm just trying to think. There's been quite a few things.
There was a lot. The wholesale website. So the way that you restructured and resystematized all of the wholesale and categorized it for the year, that was fantastic.
Yeah. So I was considering cancelling my wholesale part of the business because, it takes a lot of time, but it is my main source of income. Yeah. So it's actually an important part. And if I'm organized with it, I can actually continue it. So I've set it up its own separate website so people can just order directly through there. I also employed my 15-year-old. So we're starting with her 4 hours a week. And then by the end of the year, I'd also like to add in a studio assistant for 1 or 2 days a week during the day. So it's just got me thinking really big. And the shift, the mindset shifts have been the biggest, especially when it comes to the art and what I'm selling it for. Like I probably honestly would have charged half the price for a lot of my paintings that were in my exhibition. And you were like, I know, you've got to charge more than that. So, it was good. Yeah. It's good just to be able to have someone to go, I think I'm thinking about this. What do you think?
Yeah. So what I loved was, life happened a lot of times over these last 12 weeks, even from when you first booked your clarity call to discuss the accelerator, and then we rescheduled it. And then it was actually,
I was bawling my eyes out that day.
You joined the accelerator the morning that I had the first call.
Yeah.
So you came in right at the last minute to join this particular cohort. So I'd love to know, what was it that was going through your mind around why you even needed or wanted to get into a coaching program? What was going on for you? What was business doing?
Shush. If you can hear my dog, she's being like a spoiled child because I'm not paying attention to her. Firstly, I knew I've wanted a business coach for years, and I just felt like the last few months were the time to do it.
Yeah.
And I was thinking more to do one-on-one coaching, but looking at prices for one-on-one coaching. Excuse me.
You just pick her up and give her a cuddle.
No, she's so naughty. When I spoke to you and you said it's actually quite a small group, like the weekly Zooms, it's not like, I was thinking it was going to be maybe like 50 people.
Yeah.
So, and because I've done courses before where you're there's weekly Q&As but there's like 100 people or 50 people, and you can put a comment in the questions while the person's talking, but you don't actually get really any serious one-on-one. Whereas with the accelerator, like you said, it's a small group, and it's good. It's literally like having a one-on-one session, because we all get to have a one-on-one session, and then we all get to listen to the other person's one-on-one session. So you get ideas that you might not have known about, and can get really inspired and inspire each other.
Yeah.
So and it was time, and I didn't have the money. I didn't have the money at all. Like even some weeks now, I'm like, oh my gosh. But funny thing is, every week that I've been in it, because I'm on a payment plan with you, thank you. The money just comes a couple of days before it's due. So I'll sell something bigger on my website, or it just comes. So it's great.
It happens. I know it's not. It always seems like that big stretch. And I've actually had a couple of clients lately who've just signed up to the next round of the accelerator, and both of them on the clarity call ended up having, one of the ladies had somebody sign up with her literally the next day after she'd signed the contract to come into the accelerator. And then the lady that I was on the phone to, who signed up just a couple of days ago, she had a phone call whilst we were on the call together discussing the accelerator, and she just put it aside, came back to it later, and it was somebody booking in, and that literally was her first payment for the program. So it happens. So it would just, in my world, that's just how it rolls. And if you commit, and it happens.
Yeah, and if you look at it, it is a big expense, but it's so worth it. Like it just is. It makes you, if you're like me and you just have these goals and plans to do stuff, but you never quite get to it, or you half-ass it because no one's watching, then it's just, it makes you get to where you want to go a lot quicker and a lot more professionally. So it's definitely been worth it.
Yeah. And it's been amazing. Like the value that each one of you brings to the group and can share with each other as well is just goes to show how much more that you know and are doing accurately and really, really well. And you can help other people in their arenas. And I really love that aspect, because sometimes when we walk into a coaching container, you can feel as though there isn't anywhere that you know as well as everybody else. And yet when you get the opportunity to contribute, all of a sudden, you've got such an amazing amount of skill and ability to support one another. And I really love seeing that, especially in this particular group. It's really, really lovely. So I suppose, what's been the biggest surprise for you in the accelerator? What has been something that you weren't expecting or has supported you or helped you out?
Probably the access to you if I need it. Like, I know at the start you've got 24/7 access, and you're like, oh, okay, but then you don't. I have used it a few times, not a lot, but I feel like that was maybe going to be a hindrance to you. Like, you don't want to be messaging you every 5 seconds.
Have I messaged you more though? I feel like I'm always saying, hey, how are you going? What's going on?
I'm like, oh, she actually means it when you can actually message her at any time. So that's been good, especially on a few days in the last few weeks when I've been freaking out about the exhibition or just need to put an idea across just to do a little message. So that's been an extra bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, really good. So I guess, what's the difference? Like, from where you were before to where you are now, what's the biggest difference in your business?
I'm very much more focused and intentional and confident about moving forward with my original art part of my business. So really, whereas before I was just kind of floundering, doing the day by day, trying to get my art to come into the forefront of my business, but it wasn't really happening. So it's just much more intentional and realizing that if you set your goals and you really stick to them, and then you can get to them. And and they can be big goals. They can be big scary goals too.
Yeah, and I know that was a big scary goal for you. Even now, it's coming out the other side and going, all right, I just need a couple of days to process this. I need, to actually realize what I've done. And I think that's still got time to hit home as well. Your artwork is going to be hanging up in people's rooms, in their houses. I mean, that's incredible.
The dots on them.
It's amazing. It's amazing. I think you've frozen. But so what would you say to somebody who is thinking about coming into the accelerator? What would you want them to know?
I don't know if you're still. Here we go. Are you there?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what would you say to somebody who was thinking about coming into the accelerator or isn't sure that this is their time or that they're ready for it? What would you want them to realize or understand?
I think if you don't feel like you're ready for it financially, then just probably take the chance, because like I said, I'm average at manifesting money, but it has been coming in because I have been more focused and increasing the income in my business. And if you're waiting because you're not sure you're ready, I think that's the time when you do it. If you're not ready, because that's what you need. You need the help to get your shit together, get organized. It's great. It's really good for that. To really work out what is important and what do you want to grow and what do you want to focus on, and not getting distracted by little shiny objects like I would normally do. When I start to do a big goal, I'll just get distracted by other things. So I haven't done that during this, which is great.
That has been amazing. There's been a couple of times you've tried.
Yes, definitely. Even yesterday I was thinking about stuff. I'm like, no, that's not what you need to do right now.
But the list is there ready for when it is the right time. So
and not feeling bad about yourself. You were saying that. It's like you don't have to feel bad about having ideas 20,000 times a day, because maybe they'll come down the track.
Well, you're meant to. Like, that is the thing. Entrepreneurs are creatives at heart. They are the most creative people. They're constantly getting ideas. And it's just about identifying when is the most appropriate time to put them into action. That's the difference. Once you've got this amazing, stable business that's running that you can do all the time without, second guessing yourself or thinking with excess energy, then you've got more to be able to put into all these other ideas. And and I love that. But are you ready to put your next date down for your next exhibition?
Oh, Nelly, I probably would be Nelly. I'm just not sure whether I want to do it in 2 months or 3 months.
Oh.
Yeah, but I'm just about ready. Yeah. We could do it. We could.
We can do it. Okay. I'm getting the calendar out because this is how it rolls, right? So
yeah.
All right, so it's the 10th of August today. So if you were going to do it when? Are you going to do a Friday again?
Probably, I would say towards the end of October. Probably like the 29th of October, maybe.
Yeah. That sounds like a pretty good day.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So we'll talk tomorrow then about what you can do and how you can structure and strategize for that 29th of October. But be warned, everyone, the next exhibition from Rondelle Designs is coming.
Yeah. It will
29th
be.
of
Hopefully in person.
Yeah.
But even if it's not in person, it was really fun to do virtually anyway.
It was. And so this time it's going to be bigger and better and more spectacular. Yeah, because you know what you're doing and you know how.
Yes. And I did what you said, the playbook. Okay, at this point in time, this is what you need to be doing. This is what you need to be doing. Yeah.
And I love, to me, that just makes ideal sense because now when you do it again, you're not going to be using excess energy and you're going to be more efficient. You've just got exactly one standard process that now you're going to up level and go, right, where can I make this even better? Where can I, change this, move that, give myself more space. I don't need as much space, and it just, every single time it's just going to be a next level of ease, which is brilliant. All right. Cool. Thank you so much for coming on and talking to everyone. I really, really appreciate it. I'm so excited to be able to celebrate you. And I can't wait for all those pictures to be rolling in of people with your artwork in their home displayed so beautifully. That is amazing.
Exciting.
Lifelong dream, just beginning. Just beginning. It is.
Yeah. Oh. Even just saying I'm an artist when I do networking things, it's just rolling much more smoothly. So it's so much mindset stuff, isn't it? Getting over those hurdles. Absolutely. All right. Well, I'll see you tomorrow in our call, our week 11. Can't believe it. And I'll tag you in this because I would love for you to put all of your links so that everyone can actually go and see what's left from the expo and go and check out this beautiful website and connect with you and follow your journey from here on in. Thank you so much, Rondelle. Awesome. I really appreciate your coming on and talking to everyone. No worries. Thanks for having me and have a good rest of the day. Hopefully we're going to find out we're coming out of lockdown, but I don't think I'm kidding myself. Anyway, it's fine. We can do stuff on our phone online. It's good. Yeah. You certainly can. More time to paint, Rondelle. You've got 2 months. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, so good to speak to you. All right, take care and thanks so much for watching, everyone. See you soon. Bye. Bye.